Patrick Mahomes says Taylor Swift has started drawing up plays. He put, and quote, we might have to put one in. Let me read this full quote and then we'll get into it. He said, I think it's been cool to see the girls and the women that have really embraced watching football. I know being a girl dad, how cool it is for me to see like these little girls, these daughters, and how much they're loving to spend time with their dad watching football. And then meeting Taylor, him talking about himself personally, realizing how genuine and cool she is. I think that's been special to me because she's the most famous person in the world and she could not be more genuine. And then he said she's been really interested in football. She asks a lot of great questions, starting to draw up plays. We might have to put one in. I wouldn't put it past the Chiefs because Taylor could draw it up. Andy Reid gives his little secret sauce to it, and they have all the talent in the world. But you know what it's going to be, the play she draws up. This is how you get 87 open in the end zone for a touchdown. Yeah. But I love this. I love all of this.
That's good. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see a Kelce touchdown. I like that. Well, you know what? I don't know if we're going to see a Taylor play with the Chiefs, but I definitely can bet you that we're going to see other NFL teams using Taylor Swift phrases and verbiage when they play the Chiefs. I bet you somebody's going to have a play, maybe to throw off the Chiefs and just to get them a little off their game and to start some conversation on the sideline. But Taylor Swift's name, I mean, it can't not be mentioned on the field this NFL season.
Yeah, maybe like calls by the Mike linebacker at the line of scrimmage, calling something like Swift means one play. Yeah. We'll go with like start dropping her like album titles.
That's going to get in someone's head.
Oh, 1,000%.
It's got to happen.
And it's going to go, but you know what? To be honest, if I was a defensive coordinator, I'd stay away from that because I am not poking the bear of Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce and getting those guys pissed off. Because if I start, like, even they take that the slightest way, then that's when they're going to drop like 45 points on us. I'm not like, I would say this, AB. I'm a Swiftie light. Like, Evermore, great album. The second you start cursing, like I'm all in. I love it. I just love seeing that side of Taylor. I remember seeing that album cover drop too. I'm like, that is a sick flannel. Jacket was $2,000. I'm like, okay, not a sick flannel for me. But I think that was a good album. Do I listen to her every day or like even every week? No. But like Mahomes said, she is the most famous person in the world. I love hearing how genuine she is and just how into it she is as well of like, hey, here's a play I drew up. Like, if you want to use it, go ahead. I'm not going to think anything if you don't.
No, I love that. And I think the craziest part of that whole, I mean, there's a lot of crazy parts of all this conversation, but I think the funny part to think about is what Patrick is actually saying. Imagine having Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce explaining football to you. Like, sick. Like, you're going to be really good. I don't care if you've never had any football experience. You're going to know what you need to know. So I just think thinking about how that would actually go down in real life is really funny. And then just thinking about Taylor's involvement in this NFL conversation, in this global conversation, the college dorm that I was in watching the Super Bowl, and we had a sign on the wall that said, okay, how many tallies can we get for when we see Taylor go up on the TV screen? I think we had we were in the double digits at that point. So I'm excited to see more of Taylor this football season and just the excitement around this relationship and this storyline. But I think something that I really wanted to speak into existence now, and I don't know if people have already talked about it, but maybe I can be the one to say it. Can we get Taylor to do the halftime show of the Super Bowl? I know it's super early to say that, but I haven't been able to go to the Eras Tour. I went to some of her concerts growing up, and it was truly amazing. But this could be my ticket to the Eras Tour. If I miss it, Taylor, please perform at halftime. We all want it. We all want to see you there. I think it'd be pretty awesome. It'd
be her performing at halftime with the Chiefs and her boyfriend winning a third straight Super Bowl. I mean, that'd be epic. It's just like how perfect it is. And again, what would they call the play? You know, that's what I'm trying to think of. If it's an audible at the line of scrimmage. Because imagine Mahomes and Kelce lining up at the line of scrimmage in the red zone, makes a check at the line. And same thing, you said defenses will do it. Imagine they go Swift, wide open touchdown, perfectly schemed play. Because I'm also picturing
mic'd up.
Exactly.
The world would just explode. Can you imagine? I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts.
I'd be all for it. Like, I love that how much it brings in a new audience to football in the NFL. And we see like all the time the posts that go around, whether it's on Twitter or if I'm scrolling through Reddit reading about the NFL or just articles like Taylor Swift fans. And I've seen threads come up when I'm like reading about the Chiefs of, wait, this is like the conversations they have in the back and forth. Like, it's just people wanting to learn about football, I think, is the best thing. I'm just also picturing the 3 or 4 of them with Brittany there hanging out, like Patrick, his wife, Travis, and Taylor. They start drawing up plays, and then the input of like the best quarterback right now in the game going, well, if we have the receiver actually break out instead of breaking in, that would get Travis more open down the seam, and I could just loft that and layer it over the second layer of the defense, and that'll be 6. And she go, yeah, you're right, I do like that. And then what about, as they're talking like zone blocking versus like power, I think it'd be great. And then you bring in Andy Reid into this, like, she has read Taylor's version for a reason, and their head coach is Big Red. Like, it just all lines up perfect. I'm all for it.
It all makes sense. And you can't deny that Taylor is one of the most creative people in this era, right? Like, in the world right now, definitely one of the most creative people. So I don't care if she doesn't know a lot about football. It's kind of like when you ask someone for outside help, you get someone to just think outside the box. Oh, hey, like, why didn't you do it this way? Oh my gosh, never thought about that. Like, you might not need to know a lot about football to have some great ideas. And so you pair Taylor's creativity with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. Like, we know something good is going to come out of it. I don't know what it's going to be, but Taylor, let's get you, maybe you can be a scout. Maybe you can be personnel role. I don't know. Let's get Taylor in on this a little more.
I think you're 1,000% right there. Like, she doesn't know what you can and cannot do in a way, like certain plays, there's like, well, you wouldn't throw across your body, right? But then she go like, I didn't think about it that way.
Like we saw behind the back preseason, I think that was crazy.
For all we know, she told him like, hey, why don't you ever just throw behind your back instead of always going with the arm angles? But like you said, like that different perspective, and they go, I've never thought about it that way. Best thing you can do, surround yourself with a diversity of opinions, and that's how you get better. All right, so this made us thinking. It's a great idea by our producer, Brendan. What celebrities would make good coaches? Going off this Patrick Mahomes saying Taylor has been giving them plays. Who else you think would be like a good, let's say head coach, offensive coordinator, or let's go like any sport, even basketball. Who do you think would be a great coach in any pro sport?
Yeah, this one might shock you, and this one I kind of thought about late in the game, but I'm going to go hockey, okay? And I'm going to say Jennifer Lawrence in her Hunger Games role, because she looks similar to Jessica Campbell of the Seattle Kraken, okay? They kind of have a similar look, and you think about Katniss Everdeen, that celebrity, that role, that character. Katniss is out to kill. Hockey is like kill or be killed. This is an intense, aggressive sport. So I think if I were to choose a character in a movie, pair it a little bit with that person who's that character in that role, I'm going Jennifer Lawrence, Katniss Everdeen, hockey, Hunger Games. She kind of looks like Jessica Campbell. That's my first choice.
I love that. See, I went like the boring route in the beginning, then I started thinking more. I mean, you got to have Denzel Washington, like Herman Boone. Okay,
I had that
as
too.
Your DC.
I had that too, but I had to push the women in sports first.
No, I like that. And then, but also you're going with the character that knows what desperation is like when your back's up against the wall, when all you have to do is survive. So you said it like late in the game. Like she would be the coach that handles power play and penalty kill for a hockey team, maybe, right? She knows like, all right, when you are screwed and you got nothing working for you, this is what you have to do. I love Katniss Everdeen. I was also thinking, I mean, it's a deep cut. Everyone knows the infamous like Schefter report that went out. Everyone's like, what? Condoleezza Rice. I mean, she's been on the college football playoff committee. She was rumored to be a Browns head coach candidate, but that's when they're trying to like smoke out who the leaks are in the building. But nonetheless, huge Browns fan, college football playoff committee she was on. I think Condoleezza Rice, like, I guess she knows ball. Put her in as a head coach. Let's see her run the program.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna throw one more random one out at you, and this one I probably would never say unless we just had the Olympics, but someone who I think could be really maybe the coach of any sport, Snoop Dogg, man. That guy has seen every sport under the sun at this point. Not only has he seen every sport, he's seen every sport at the highest level. So Snoop Dogg, man, I think you've seen it all. You've seen the greatest to do it all over the world. So Snoop Dogg, choose your sport.
He was the first one on my list, actually, so I think it's a great call.
Really? Are you just saying that?
No, I swear. Look, I'll show you my notes. I'll send a screenshot. But he's actually been, and that was like, I didn't have to think of a character of a movie. He's been the head coach because his sons were good at football. I think one of them went to play UCLA. But he's big on, like, as a youth coach in the LA area. He coached his sons. He grew up a huge USC fan. He's also a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Now, when his son went to UCLA, he switched colors and started wearing blue. But just how invested Snoop is in football. He's run the youth programs. He's actually pretty good for how like skinny and lanky he is. He's a good receiver. I mean, with that build, I'd like to see him run a team, and I think it should be the celebrations you'd get from Snoop Dogg. we know would be one of one, and just him, how good of a time that would be with them on the sidelines. If it's an NFL team, college team, whatever, I think he'd be great as a head coach in football.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm glad you mentioned UCLA. My little brother, Henry, we just dropped him off at college. It felt like yesterday, but he's been there for like 2 months. He's going to kill me. He just had his first college football game, UCLA against Hawaii. I mean, imagine having your first college game in Hawaii. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? You got palm trees in LA. You got palm trees in Hawaii. So the Bruins were able to pull out the win yesterday. So super fun to watch him. Shout out my little brother, Henry Hasselbeck. Number 10, excited to watch you these next 4 years.
That's awesome. What position is he playing?
He's a quarterback, so
runs in the blood.
Excited to watch him.
He
runs in the blood.
It's cool to see that. I agree with you. Like seeing that game, like, oh, that'd be pretty sweet. First road trip, like you're going West Coast, like west of LA, which is impossible. But like playing the Rainbow Warriors in Hawaii, like, I mean, just sick. Like, all right, cool. Like you get done with your team meetings and your practice, go out, relax on the beach. And it's cool to see Deshaun Foster now making his debut as a UCLA head coach get a win as well. Just a guy we know for his time with the Carolina Panthers as a running back, now the head coach of UCLA. Awesome. So congrats to your brother. We'll be looking out for number 10 playing for UCLA.